Inside Mo's kitchen, inside Mo's kitchen, where all things are light, with Mo, the vegan oracle. Inside Mo's kitchen, where we find healthy wellness is everything. Understanding that wellness begins with the things that we eat.
Welcome to Inside Mo's Kitchen, episode 3. So I would like to just start with telling you what we're going to make today. So what we're going to make today is a raw curry cabbage salad. So I've already kind of to start and mix up our cabbage, and all it was a half a cabbage that I put in the food processor and pulsed maybe 3 times and got it to this really great consistency, and I can show you that right now. But before we even dive into the recipe today, I really want to talk about raw vegan cooking. So what raw vegan cooking is really the same principles as vegan food, except for they do not eat any processed foods. There is no foods with extra additives. The foods are going to be prepared as closely as possible to their raw state. So what does that mean? The cabbage, we're not going to cook the cabbage, but we could ferment the cabbage to give it a different consistency or texture. And when you ferment cabbage, it really creates a probiotic, an enzyme that is an amazing enzyme for digestion purposes, okay? Also, raw vegan cooking is really going to allow you to sustain a lot of the nutrients that you would not get in your cooked foods because they are lost during the cooking process due to heating. So I am not a fully raw vegan. I actually got introduced to the raw vegan lifestyle when I attended the Living Foods Institute in Atlanta, Georgia. And I did their raw foods program, and really got an understanding of what raw food was and how you can sustain as a raw vegan. So what I really took away from that learning experience was the fact that food isn't much different than life. It really is a slow process. And the big difference that stood out to me with vegan and raw vegan food preparation was the fact that raw vegan food preparation is so simplistic in its cooking. And vegan can be too, but the process is more substantial. So you actually have to give food time to prepare. So if you're marinating something, you're not going to marinate something and then have it in 30 minutes. You can eat it in 30 minutes, but the quality of it is going to be much less reduced than it would be if you gave it 2 days or if you gave it 24 hours. And that's what I really took away from it, was the fact that it really teaches you patience. We really learn the importance of really savoring your food and actually connecting with the food itself. So instead of chewing things in like 3 bites and swallowing, we were really encouraged to eat slowly, to use that eating as a form of meditation, as a moment to really connect and give gratitude to Mother Creation, the divine, God, whoever it is that you serve. And that to me was what I took away. And that to me is what really transpired in my wanting to really incorporate raw vegan cuisine into my daily life for me and my family. So for about 20 days I did it. I was 80% raw vegan and I was 20% cooked foods. And what I really learned was that there's preparation that goes into it. So I had to adjust, and I couldn't just live my quick and make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and go out the way. It really made me be more self-aware of where I was spending my time, really connecting to my nutrition, saying, okay, you know what? I need to mark out this time to eat. I need to mark out this time to eat. And it really just made me be more conscious of how I was living and how fast I was living. And it made me slow down. And I'm so appreciative of that because it's really taught me patience and has trickled into all areas of my life. And that's what I love about this space, is that we aren't just focusing on our nutritional wellness, but we're focusing on our holistic wellness, our whole selves. Because as human beings, we are whole. We're born whole, and the only thing that needs to change about that perception is the way that we see it. So I believe that if we can start with the way that we consume, because food is a necessary to survive. No matter who you are, you need food to be able to survive. So So if we start with being more conscious in the things that we're putting into our body, that's going to automatically force our mind, our heart, and our environment to become more in alignment as well, because all of those pieces they have to fit together to create our wellness. So that's what Inside Mo's Kitchen is about. It's really about creating that relationship with the innate body, your system, your functioning, your vessel, to really bring awareness to what we are doing as ourselves, as part of our wholes, and then in the collective. Okay, so what we're going to make, if you guys remember, is going to be a raw curry salad, cabbage salad. And this salad can be eaten in multiple ways. You know me, I like to make things that are easy, simple, and that don't require a lot of time in this particular segment. You can always find different recipe videos that might give you something more in detail. And as we grow, we will continue to add more advanced recipes. But right now, I don't want to scare people. I want them to understand that this space is so open and welcome, and that this transition into a more healthier, plant-based living lifestyle does not have to be tedious. It does not have to be expensive, and it does not have to be hard. You can have fun, you can eat amazing food, and you can really connect to your body and integrate whole wellness while we do it. And this space isn't always about food. There's also beauty recipes that you can find here. There's meditations that you can find on this space as well. Different playlists, but it's all in the same space. And I really just want to encourage you to stay with me on this beautiful journey. So let's dive into the recipe. So I'm just going to post this a couple more times until we really get the. So this was a half. Yeah, there we go. So this was a half of a cabbage. It was organic red cabbage that I got from the farmers market. If you are in the Atlanta area, I did get this from DeKalb's farmers market. I like to shop there because there's a lot more bulk, and you're really never going to go there and they don't have what you're looking for, unless you're going for spices. They can run out of spices, especially their spicy chipotle. Oh, chili chipotle is so good, and I can never find it, and that's one of my secret ingredients. So yeah, that's where I got my things, and I always make sure that I'm getting organic, whole, sustainable recipes. And if you know any local farmers in the Georgia area, please get me in contact with them. I am ready to start shopping extremely small and extremely resourceful and going straight to the source. And also, if you're a farmer and you want to teach me about gardening, so what I'm doing here is So what I just did was grate up about 6 or 7 organic baby carrots with about 2 to 3 tablespoons of fresh organic cilantro. So this is really going to be a really balanced meal. You are going to want to pair this with protein, so maybe some nuts. You are going to want to also add a little bit more fat to this as well. So this is not something that you would just eat for lunch as a raw vegan and be like, I'm done. That's not it. So this is our salad so far. So we've got our red cabbage that is been in the food processor, and we also have our organic baby carrots with cilantro as well that was in the food processor. Yeah, I'm good, baby. I'm almost done. No, I'm great, baby. My baby boo checking on me. I was inspired by Terrence, y'all. If you haven't, please go watch his channel. He is an amazing creator, producer, filmmaker, and he has a really amazing creative media agency based out of Atlanta, but it's international, national. We go everywhere. That really does video production, audio engineering, and we also do some management and some social branding as well for you. So we are just mixing all of this goodness together. And what I love about this salad is it really is light but flavorful. So the cilantro is really going to pull out a great flavor. And if you know me, you know that I love massaging into the food, really just infusing it with a lot of love, sending healing vibrations and frequencies into the food, letting it know that we love it. We are so thankful, so grateful for its ability to nourish our vessels and to give us the wisdom and the strength and the energy, the high vibrational energy to really move forward. And not only does it really send healing frequencies into the food to really assist you and push you along your wellness journey, but it also gives you that juice, that natural juice for massaging. It's just like lean leafy vegetables. If you watch the kale video, which you should have, because that citrus kale salad is off the chain. So we have got about a tablespoon of turmeric we're going to add in here. I know it's spicy, y'all, but I love Mediterranean spices. We've got literally about 2.5, 3 tablespoons, almost 4 probably. Well, no, 2.5, 3 tablespoons of curry powder. And then we've got some lime, and I'm just going to squeeze it in now just to give it a little bit better of a go. And then we've got some beautiful dulse flakes, about 2 tablespoons. But I'm just going to save a little bit of dulse for when we plate, okay? So we're just going to go ahead and give all of that a mix. So turmeric is a really great anti-inflammatory. It really has become more of a staple in the average Western household, but it really has been almost a secret weapon for a lot of ancestral Eastern cultures for healing and beauty and just overall wellness for this beautiful anti-inflammatory. But it's really coming from a enzyme that is inside the turmeric that gives its anti-inflammatory. It's like cute. I'll put it. I don't want to pronounce it. It's a C word, and I know it's a CU, but I don't want to mispronounce it. And people like, she don't even know what she's talking about. I know what I'm talking about. I just don't know how to pronounce it. So yeah, we're just gonna really integrate those flavors in there. And turmeric does turn, the table is clean. Turmeric does turn and will, I promise you, it will turn your hands yellow. So if you are at home and you are doing this on your kitchen counter and it's not like the expensive kind, you know what I'm saying? And you have to, use this on your not expensive counter, it will stain it, and it's gonna be hard to come off. Vinegar will probably do it. White wine vinegar will really probably do it, but just avoid that if you can. So we've got some coconut vinegar right here, raw coconut vinegar, and I love this brand because it's a very sustainable brand, and I found out that they put a lot of love into their ingredients. So we're going to put about 2 tablespoons of raw coconut vinegar in here. And that smells so good. I love the smell of vinegar, and my partner Terrence, inspired by Terrence, gets so mad because he does not like vinegar. And anytime I make a wrap or something like that, he's like, don't put that vinegar on there. But for me, I love the acidity because the acid is what really brings it all together. And what's really great about raw foods is that, like I always say, the food already has the flavor. It's really just up to you as the chef, and we are all chefs, or the artist, if you look at it how I look at it, and this is my canvas, is that, it all comes together, and there's really not a wrong or right way to do this. So, don't get stuck in recipes for me are guys. I have read recipes when people are make this recipe, because I really just need to know what's in it. And if I know what's in it, and I know as a chef, I am classically trained, so I already know the basic foundations of all the mother sauces. I know the basic foundations of soups and of cakes, and I formerly was trained in baking and pastry, so I really understand chemistry and what really balance and ratios. And we had to take a lab called baking science or something like that, and all that class was experimentation, and that really opened up my creativity. Whoa, you really can just come in here and be a mad creative artist scientist. And so that's really how I look at cooking. I look at cooking just like that. So now I'm going to add our amino acids, and this is like the vegan substitute of soy sauce. And if you can see it here, I got my gloves all dirty, but whatever. This is amino acid, coconut amino acids, and it's by the same brand. Okay, so it's something I try to stay to brands that I know that are true and true, and this is a true and true brand. So I'm sorry if you got your own coconut aminos. I'm going with this one. I get my stuff like that from Seven Nanda, and I've recently found out that the farmers market sells it too. Okay, and it smells so good, and if you can really see, it's really starting to get that liquid. So now I'm just going to add a little bit of agave, and that's, to me, you don't have to do this. I know it's an added sweetener, but I love it, and it just, for me, just gives all of that spiciness. It balances it out, and that's how I can get my son to eat it. He's 280. It's because I do make it a little bit sweet. But I mean, what curry salad, or curry chicken, what, it tastes good when it's got that kick, but that undertone. And that's what cooking is about. It's making those flavors. It's all about. It's really just all about making sure the flavors really come together. So I would actually leave this in the fridge and let it marinate for about 24 to 36 hours. And you don't have to. You can eat this thing right away. You can let it do 2 hours and make it even taste better. But the longer that you let this sit and the longer that you let this sit and just stay covered, the more you're really going to just see those flavors come together, and it's just going to be so well put, you just not even gonna understand. And that lime just makes it all come together. So we're just gonna plate this up nice and pretty. Please put this on your wrap. Put this on your burger. Make a hamburger patty out of this. This would make a beautiful hamburger patty that you could throw in your dehydrator and make that into a patty. Oh, it would be so good, especially if you put a little bit of black beans in there with it. Yeah. So I'm just gonna pop it off with a little bit of dulce. And I didn't bring no fork out here to the studio, so I'm just gonna eat a little bit of this with my hands, and I don't even care. That crunch. Yeah. And the curry ain't too overpowering. And but if you do, you might not like those flavors a little bit, you can easily cut out the turmeric, because the turmeric is going to give you a distinct taste. So let me take off my gloves. So alright, there is our curry cabbage salad. Whatever. Inside. This one is really great. It says it's for deodorizing, exfoliating, and moisturizing. And I think that's going to come from the poppy seeds that are going to be in here. That's going to really give you that extra exfoliation. Because of that, it's going to be a little bit grainy.